I know, I messed up.
Messed up? Is that what you call stealing our entire savings?
I'm sorry about lying about the savings, too. I thought I could get away with taking just a little. I know now I was too easy on myself.
$500,000 is just a little? Yeah, you're not to me.
Hey, Amy, I'll make sure to be home by 7 tonight, so make sure you have everything ready, all right? I want dinner on the table the second I walk into the dining room. Got it? No later than that. And you'd better get the bath ready for me while I'm eating, too. I'm gonna have a soak right after I'm done.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry.
Also, I don't feel like eating any red meat tonight, so get something else. I feel like having something light, so get some fish for my main dish.
Fish? Sure thing. Salmon should be in season right now, so I'll get that. Is it okay if I decide what to make for your side dish? There's stuff in the fridge I want to use.
Yeah, but make sure you don't use any onions. You know how much I hate them. Don't you dare use any.
Yes, sir. Oh, I almost forgot, but your mom sent us some fresh peaches for you to eat. They arrived this morning. So I'll have them peeled and ready for you to eat for dessert when you're done with your bath.
That's my mom for you. She knows exactly what I want when I want it. She always sends me the fruit I want just when I start craving them. Her timing's always perfect. I wish you'd learn more from my mom, Amy, and do the same. It would help a lot if you could just figure out what I want when I want it, without me having to give you suggestions and hints all the time. That's what it means to be a good wife, you know?
Well, I think I've been doing pretty well lately. I've started to get a good idea of your likes and dislikes, don't you think?
If you compare your cooking to my mom's, then it's nowhere near good enough. I still have to tell you what to make for dinner every night. It's already been 6 months since we got married, Amy. I would have hoped that you'd have worked things out by now. And I'm still waiting on you to get the chores done properly.
I don't think that I'm bad at doing the chores either. What's bothering you about that? I mean, I've been doing the chores every morning and every night before I go to bed.
Huh? Are you trying to say that you're satisfied with the way you're doing the chores right now? Seriously? Of course it's not good enough. The other day I found water droplets on the mirror in the bathroom, and the humidifier always ends up empty when I'm at home. Can't you fill it so that it'll always be full when I'm around? There's still a lot you can't do, so you better not get carried away. You should be more aware of your weak points so that you can improve on them. Understood?
Is that really such a big deal? I can't keep the mirror completely dry 24/7 when it's right next to the bath. And as for the humidifier, it only holds a couple of liters, so I can't help it if it becomes empty by the time we wake up. I fill it every night before I go to bed.
That's why I'm always saying that you should wake up to fill it back up again while I'm sleeping. It's as simple as that, Amy. What are you gonna do if I get a cold because the air's too dry? It's gonna be your fault if that happens.
You're not going to get a cold just because the humidifier's been off for a couple of hours. You will get a cold, however, if you keep stressing about it.
This is what I'm talking about. Your attitude towards doing the housework. If I was living with my mom, she would wake up in the middle of the night, no matter what time, to refill it. I'm letting you be a housewife, so can't you be a little more considerate? No, more professional about it? It's your job to get these things done.
I'm working too, you know. It's part-time, but it's still a job.
That's because you insisted on wanting to work even after we got married. I'm letting you work out of the kindness of my heart. And you say that it's a job, but a part-time job doesn't count as proper work. It's too simple to be called work. Let me give you some advice. You shouldn't think that you're actually making a difference by working a couple hours a few days a week. That's just you being conceited. I bet your managers wouldn't even notice if you didn't turn up to work. You're that useless. Got it?
Do you really have to say it like that? The amount of hours I work doesn't make any difference. It's what I do with those hours. You agreed to let me work, which means that we decided this together. You wanted me to stay at home as a full-time housewife, and I wanted to continue working full-time. This is the choice we made when we met halfway, remember?
But working was your choice. You're working of your own accord, not mine, which means that you're not allowed to use your part-time job as an excuse to cut corners on the chores. Your priority should be the housework.
It's not like I've been cutting corners out of spite or anything. I've been doing my best.
Then you admit that you're still a long way from getting the chores done perfectly, right? You were good at your job when you were working full-time, so you shouldn't be this incompetent when it comes to doing some simple chores. I expect perfection from you when it comes to the housework because it shouldn't be so hard. You don't have to use your head, so get it done. It's your job as my wife to create an environment where I can completely relax and let off steam, so that I can work without getting stressed. Understood?
Yeah, okay. I'll do better.
I hope so. I'll be really disappointed if you go back on those words, Amy. I can't keep on giving you chances, Amy. You should know that I'm not going to be satisfied with a half-baked wife like you forever. Anyway, you better start getting dinner ready. I'm expecting something good. I'll see you later.
Hey, Sean, what time are you coming home? Is everything okay? You said that you'd be coming home at 7 at the usual time, so I've been waiting here with dinner on the table. Where are you?
Oh, sorry, I don't need dinner tonight. You can throw it away.
What? You're not having dinner tonight. Why?
Some colleagues invited me out to have drinks before I left the office, so I'm eating out tonight. I won't eat leftovers, so throw it out.
Then why didn't you let me know when they invited you? I've been waiting here for half an hour. You always want dinner fresh out of the oven, so I time everything perfectly so that it's ready the moment you arrive at home. I've been waiting to eat too because I always have to prepare your bath before I can sit down. Couldn't you have at least called?
I didn't have the time to call, okay? Quit guilt-tripping me. You can eat now. Happy? Besides, it's my job to mix with colleagues every now and then, so don't make such a big deal out of it. Do you really think you're in any position to complain about me going out to drink? You're just a housewife.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out to drink. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm just asking that you send me a message to let me know that you're going to eat out, so I don't have to worry about making your portion. Saves us having to waste a perfectly good meal, too.
Then can you just shut up already? I said I was sorry. I don't know why you've got to keep going on and on and on about something that's already happened. I'm sick and tired of you complaining.
I just asked if you could let me know earlier the next time you don't need dinner, that's all. I didn't mean to complain that much.
In the first place, you say that you're always timing things perfectly, but there are a lot of times when dinner isn't ready when I get home. You can't complain to me about not telling you fast enough.
Yeah, but when I'm late getting dinner on the table, it's only by a few minutes. It's not like I leave you waiting around for half an hour. There are times when you arrive earlier than the time you tell me, too. How am I supposed to know the exact time you'll be home?
Even if it's just a few minutes, you're still late. That's your problem, not mine. And I never complain when you make me wait, do I? You should be grateful that I don't make a big deal out of it when really I want you to hurry things up. But then you make a fuss about me not messaging you that I'm going out to have drinks with my friends. How is that fair? I don't get how you have the nerve to criticize me like that.
I'm not criticizing you for anything. I'm just asking you to send me a message in advance, that's all.
It's the same thing. You're making me feel like the bad guy. Listen up, Amy. You don't have any right to tell me what to do or tell me that I've done something wrong. I've said this over and over again, but the only reason why you're able to spend most of the day relaxing at home and being a housewife is because I'm letting you. I'm the one that's earning money for the both of us, so you can't talk back to me that I'm not doing so-and-so and that you want me to do this and that. Not only that, I earn way above average, so you get to live in luxury thanks to me. There are plenty of fish in the sea for me and many other women who would be happy to replace you as my wife. I chose you out of all the women I could have been with, so you better be grateful to me for marrying you. The only way you can pay me back is by being a good wife.
I should be grateful to you for choosing me? And here I was thinking we had gotten married because we loved each other. Are you saying that you didn't love me when you proposed to me?
Yeah, of course I love you. You're a hard worker and you were completely independent when I first met you, and you were exactly my type. The education you've had and the career you had before we got married was top class in comparison to all the other women I was considering at the time, too. That's why I decided to marry you. You won because you were a lot better looking than the other candidates.
That's not what I wanted to hear, Sean. I wanted you to say that I was the only one for you.
Great. You know, you've been a real pain in the ass ever since we got married, you know? You were a lot more laid back when we were dating, and you didn't get so bothered by the small details. But the second we got married, you started being more and more irritating and got really noisy about the tiniest of things.
That's because you're always nitpicking and demanding perfection from everything I do. So what if I start to expect the same from you? You always want me to lay dinner on the table the second you enter the dining room, not too soon because it'll go cold, and not too late because you're really hungry. You expect me to wash the sheets all over again if there's a single crease, and you wake me up in the middle of the night to fill up the humidifier when it gets empty when you could just go and do it yourself. I didn't think that you would become so neurotic when we got married either. You're the one who completely changed when we got married, Sean.
That's because you're too sloppy. I wouldn't have to say anything if you could get things done. You're not living alone anymore, so you can't be so half-hearted about the chores anymore. Get it? I'm telling you what you have to do because you obviously don't understand what it means to support your husband. You're barely even making it as a proper housewife, so you don't have any right to talk back to me. I'm your husband. Don't forget that. Do you realize that you're not going to be able to make it alone if I decide to divorce you? You need me, so you better rethink the way you talk to me.
So you're saying that housewives should just shut up and do as their husbands say? Seriously?
Of course I am. Do you really think that a husband would want to keep a housewife that spends all their time complaining when they could spend that time perfecting their housemaking skills? Remember this, if you can't do your job as my wife, then I can always replace you. You're dispensable. But you're lucky that I'm kind enough to wait for you to become the perfect housewife. I'm giving you chance after chance to prove yourself to me. If this was a company, then you'd be fired by now. Do you finally understand how much you owe me?
I've had enough. Fine, I get it. I get what you're trying to say.
What? Are you gonna sulk? You complain, and now you're gonna act like a teenager? You can't even come out and apologize for being such a pain? I'm really disappointed in you, Amy. I expected more from you, but this is just betrayal.
You're saying that I betrayed you? When? Go on, tell me.
Look at the messages you're sending, the attitude you're giving me. I'm really surprised that you could actually be so cheeky with me when you're supposed to be my wife. I keep on having to give you reminders for the chores and for my meals, too. If I knew that was going to be the case, then I should have chosen a woman who didn't have as much education. Maybe then she'd at least get the chores done without me mentioning anything. It's much easier to deal with an idiot that doesn't have any pride than have to deal with a woman that's convinced herself that she's better than me.
I can't believe you're actually saying that. So you regret having married me?
Women are just meant to get married, take care of their husbands, and give birth. Their job is over when the kids leave the house. I regret that you're no good at taking care of the housework, but let me remind you, you won't get anywhere unless you have a husband to earn a salary for you. If you can't do the housework properly, then you better not do anything else to piss me off. Just shut up, keep your head down, and work harder to do the chores. If you don't want to get kicked out of my house, then you've got to do better to be a good wife and support me. Hey, Amy! Where the hell are you? Where's my dinner? I never gave you permission to go out.
I haven't finished at work yet. I'll be back in an hour or so.
What? It's a part-time job. If they're gonna keep you this late, then I want you to resign. I only allowed you to work that part-time job because you told me that it wouldn't affect the chores. Come back home right now and make me dinner. You know, you've been really lazy lately. You haven't gotten anything done the way I want it done. It's almost our first anniversary, but you haven't gotten better one bit. You've just gotten worse and gotten more and more rebellious towards me. You can't call yourself a housewife anymore.
I started working again because I don't want to be so dependent on you. Especially not if you're going to look down on what housewives do.
What did you say? So you think that you could just prioritize your job over supporting me? You're just a part-timer. What can you do? You're not going to earn enough to match my salary. Don't waste your time. You're not going to manage anything with a pathetic job like yours. You'd accomplish more by supporting me and making sure that I can live comfortably and get on with my job. If you can't do that, then I want a divorce.
All right, then you're fired. How about that? Since you're not doing anything to support the company's profits and you're just wasting your time at the office. It's a waste of time and money to keep you on the team, so it would be better for us if we just replaced you.
What? Fired? Me? What are you talking about?
I'm saying that you're fired. You're no longer needed at our company.
That's funny. You think that if you say that I'm fired, that somehow HR will hear you and I'll lose my job?
No, I'm saying this because I'm the CEO of the company you're working at. I have every right to remove you from your position.
What? Hey, are you okay? Do you need to see a psychologist? 'Cause you're saying some pretty crazy stuff. You're just a part-timer. How are you the CEO of my company? Even a kid wouldn't tell a lie that terrible. You've got to be kidding me. Just how stupid are you?
Unfortunately, I'm not lying to you, Sean. I really am the CEO of your company. I took over from Mr. Smith just a few weeks ago.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't get the memo.
Now that's a lie. Most of the employees should already know that Mr. Smith has been replaced. Have you been living under a rock or something? It looks like you're a lot less present at work than I've been hearing. You really are useless.
Hey, quit messing around and be serious. If you've got the time to tell ridiculous lies and pretend to be my new CEO, then get your ass home and make me dinner. I'm starving.
I told you I am busy. I can't come home because there's still a mountain of work left to do. I don't have the time to be chatting with you, especially if you won't believe what I'm saying, so go and be stupid elsewhere. If you're hungry, then why don't you stand in the kitchen yourself for once and make dinner for yourself? You're an adult, so you can manage that without starting a fire, can't you?
Hey, if you don't get back here right now, I really will divorce you.
Fine, I'd be happy to. Let's get a divorce. That's why I started working again after all, because I knew it would come to this someday. But this is perfect timing. Thanks for bringing it up. I'll get the papers ready ASAP.
Amy? What's going on? My manager told me to leave the office. I really have been fired. She told me that I'm on temporary leave until they figure things out.
Yeah. Don't worry, we've already decided that you're going to be fired, so there's no chance of you getting your job back.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how you knew that that was going to happen. Why would you know that before me? It doesn't make any sense. Did we get sent a notification in the mail or something? Is that how you knew? Tell me.
No, I already told you. I'm the CEO of your company. If you want proof, then you can come to the CEO's office this afternoon around 2 p.m. if you want to see me. I'm busy before and after that. I've got an important business meeting this morning and another one later in the afternoon. I can't see you if you're late, okay?
Yeah, you're kidding!
It's the truth. Deal with it. I got contacted by Mr. Smith a while back, and he asked me to get his company back on track. Did you forget what I was doing for work when we met? I've known Mr. Smith for a long time, through business we've done together and in private, so he came straight to me when he realized his company was in trouble. That's why he asked me to take over for him, officially, because he told me he trusted me with his company.
What? I don't understand. What are you talking about? Why would he ask you? You're just a part-timer. You're just a housewife. The CEO's crazy if he thinks that he can leave the company in your hands.
If it's any consolation, I already resigned from that part-time job to come back to my old position. I returned to the consultant agency I was working at when we first met at the beginning of this month. They were really happy to have me back. I really missed my old colleagues, too. That's why I got a request from Mr. Smith to take over his company for a while. I'm officially the CEO of his company while I'm consulting them on how to fix things up a little. Mr. Smith's already getting on in age, right? He was saying that he just doesn't have the energy to run it anymore.
But he's got a son. I thought that he was going to take over. He's currently managing director. In any normal company, the managing director should be next in line to take over the company, not some random part-timer like you.
But Mr. Smith's son is in hospital. Didn't you know that? He's getting treatment for an illness he's been battling for a while.
What?
That's why I'm here to be CEO until he's ready to come back. I'm going to get the company back on track and have the CEO seat warmed up for him when he's ready. I guess it would be more precise to say that I'm taking over during the interim, not here as CEO permanently. Anyway, that's everything from me. Does that explanation suffice?
You're kidding! But why? I don't understand. Why is this happening to me?
I don't know how to answer that. It could be destiny, could be karma. Either way, it was decided between me, the agency, and Mr. Smith, so nothing's going to come of you complaining about it. I was chosen because Mr. Smith knew about my abilities, about all of the work I did when I was at the agency before I married you.
But why am I being fired? That's what I don't get. Is it because the company had to lay some people off? My manager told me that she'd give me the details when they're done with the hearing, but I haven't gotten anything yet.
You don't even know why you've been fired? You must be joking.
Of course I don't know why. I didn't do anything to deserve this. You just decided all of this without talking to HR, didn't you? Just to get petty revenge on me. You just demanded that the office fire me because you don't like the way I do things at home. That's just abuse of power. If you really get me fired, I'm gonna sue you and the company. Mark my words.
If you really think that you can win that case, then go ahead. Give it a try. But when you do that, we'll bring all the evidence we have against you to prove that we were justified in firing you. I know that you've been embezzling company money. Everyone knows. We've got receipts and accounts from people in your office, so we'll gladly answer your summons.
What?
Shocked, huh? I bet, since you were never caught out in the past 10 years, but you started getting lazy. I bet you never thought that anyone would go back and check bills from years and years ago just to find proof of what you were doing.
I've never done anything like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
But you see, you stole thousands of dollars, if not more. We're still checking, so we don't know the extent yet. I thought it was strange. There were so many things that struck me as odd. Like that watch you got a while ago. There's no way you could have afforded that with the salary you get paid. And the way you were so meticulous about the way you keep a note of what you've used on your credit card. But I never thought that I would find evidence that you were actually stealing money from your company. It just occurred to me that I should check, and there it was.
You're making a big mistake. I don't know how you came to that conclusion, but I never.
Deny it all you want, but I have proof. I've got a meeting with the board this afternoon, and I plan on presenting them all with the evidence I've collected with accounting. You can't run away from this forever, Sean.
Please, stop. I'm begging you. I'll do anything you want. Please don't tell the board. I shouldn't have been so oppressive towards you. I really feel bad for treating you that way, so please don't do this to me.
Well, that's a request I can't answer. Do you really think that I can just ignore all this evidence against you and let you get away with it?
Yeah, but you're the CEO now. There must be a way for you to get rid of all that and cover it up. You can tell accounting that they don't have to report it to HR. Don't you care about what happens to your husband? I'm going to be out of a job if you report this to the board.
Yeah, but we're going to get divorced, aren't we? So I don't really see why I should care. If anything, I think you deserve whatever happens to you.
All right, then I don't want to get divorced anymore. I take it back. I won't complain about the chores anymore. You can do the housework the way you want to do it. If you want to work, then go ahead. I won't stop you, and I won't tell you to prioritize the housework.
But I don't want to be with you anymore. I want a divorce. You've already agreed to it, so you can't go back on your word now. I was planning on getting the forms signed right away and send them off to be filed ASAP, but I don't want to spend another second with you.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll do anything to earn your trust back. I just got carried away. I didn't mean to be such an asshole. Please, can you give me another chance? Amy, I'll do whatever you want me to. I'll do the housework for you from now on. I'll make dinner when we get home from work.
It's too late for that. I wish you could have realized how unreasonable you were being much sooner. Just one tiny mistake and you would erupt in a furious temper. Do you understand how suffocating it was living with you? I don't even know how I made it this far without walking out on you. At first I really tried to believe that you needed me, that it was to make things easier for you, and I did my best to make you happy. But as time went by, it only got worse and worse. You got more and more aggressive the harder I worked and the more I tried to meet your standards. I bet you don't remember what you shouted at me every time I made a mistake. But I do. I started to wonder why I had married you. I came to think that my existence meant nothing to you, that I was just in your way, because that's what you really thought about me, isn't it?
I'm sorry. I won't say anything like that anymore. I got carried away. I became dependent on you because you're so kind. I was being really childish.
You weren't just being childish. You were being tyrannical. Don't you dare downplay your behavior with an excuse like that. And I'm never going to forgive you for looking down on the hard work that housewives do to support their husbands. For free, mind you. You took advantage of that. It was shocking enough to hear the real reason behind why you decided to propose to me. Do you really think that I could continue to be with someone like that? Even after we separate, I doubt it'll be that easy for me to recover from the stress and emotional distress that you've caused me this past year.
Amy, I really am sorry. Please, you've got to give me another chance. I won't treat you like that ever again. You can trust me this time. I'll change my ways. So please, will you rethink reporting me to the board? And will you please stay with me? I need you. I really do need you.
I thought you said that it's the woman's role to shut up and keep their head down and wait for the husband to earn a salary for them. But you're going to beg me for your job? How ironic. I think you should think carefully before you make any more comments, Sean. You're contradicting yourself. I'm not going to live with someone like you ever again, so I suggest you should give up begging me for forgiveness. I'm not going to forgive you for looking down on me the way you did. And I have no intention of helping or supporting an asshole like you anymore. That's why I'm going to fire you as my husband, too. Goodbye, Sean. After that, my husband was notified that he was being fired for embezzling company money, and he was ordered to pay back all the money that he had used illegally. He had been stealing money every month, so despite it not being a significant amount, even little strokes can fell great oaks, and the total came to a mind-boggling amount. It's too big a debt to pay back in one go, so he'll be paying the company back over the course of a few years. And once he was officially out of his job, he made a big deal out of signing the divorce papers, but it was obvious that he was just after my money. So I hired a lawyer to mediate and had the divorce proceedings dealt with using a middleman. Luckily for me, the divorce was finalized just a few days ago, and I'm finally a single woman again. I'm pretty sure that the only reason why he refused to sign the divorce papers is because he knew how much money I had saved from when we were still dating, and was probably hoping to use that money to pay off the debt to the company. I wasn't going to let him get away with it that easily, so I'm glad I found a great lawyer to go between us before it was too late. I don't regret divorcing him at all, and I'm relieved that I'm finally free of him and his dictatorship. At the moment, my ex-husband is still looking for a new job and has taken on a part-time job to make ends meet until he finally finds a company that's willing to hire him full-time. A little bird told me that his job search isn't going that well, and I'm not surprised. Apparently, he even tried going back to his parents' house, but of course, they were pretty disappointed in him when they heard the reason why he had lost his job, and why we had suddenly divorced, and they didn't want anything to do with him, so he was kicked back out and was told to never come back. I don't know how he's going to get back on his feet, and I don't really care. But as the former CEO and now consultant to the company he owes money to, I'm responsible for keeping an eye on him until he completes his debt payments. I just hope he doesn't cause us any more trouble than he already has. After a few months of being an interim CEO to Mr. Smith's company, his son has finally recovered and I've been relieved of my job as CEO. But I'm still working as a consultant to ensure that the business runs smoothly. So there's still a lot more for me to do until the day finally comes when Sean finishes paying off his debt. It's a really tough job, but that just makes it all the more worthwhile, and I'm satisfied with my current lifestyle. I didn't expect that my marriage to the man I had fallen in love with could end in such drama, and I don't think I'll be able to get over the pain of how derisive he was and how useless he made me feel. I guess I'll have to wait until the time I spent with him becomes past and hope that I'll heal in time. But in the end, I'm just glad that I was able to get out of that relationship when I could. I don't want to imagine what might have happened if I continued to suffer under his control. In all honesty, I wouldn't have been surprised if I had ended up having a mental breakdown. I don't want to think about dating or finding another partner for a while, but I hope to spend more time with the friends and family who supported me during my marriage to Sean and checked up on me during our divorce, and cherish the happiness I have right now. I'm sure that I'll find someone who will respect me for the woman I am if I keep my chin up and think positively about the future that's ahead.
Hello, Karen.
Emily, finally you pick up. I've been trying to reach you all day.
Yes, is something wrong?
What's wrong is your head. What kind of food are you feeding my Mikey?
I'm not sure what you mean. I cook him a variety of meals.
I've been cooking with homemade stock since Mikey was born. He needs proper nutrition.
I see, but he says my cooking is delicious. By the way, Karen, are you at our house right now?
Yes, I am. I came for a surprise inspection to see if you are doing your housework properly.
What? How did you get in?
Oh, Mikey made me a spare key.
Mike did?
Yes. Is there a problem? Can't I come to my son's house?
No, it's fine if my husband allowed it.
That doesn't matter. I'm throwing out that instant stock. You had better buy some kelp and bonito flakes on your way home.
Wait a minute. I just bought that stock recently.
Don't use such low-quality products. You might have grown up on powdered stock, but Mikey is different.
But Mike eats snacks and soda almost every day.
That's because his daily meals aren't proper. If you make proper meals, Mikey wouldn't have the urge to snack on junk food.
I make balanced meals. He chooses to eat junk food because he likes it.
You're not trying hard enough, and you haven't ironed Mikey's shirts, have you?
We buy wrinkle-free shirts. If ironing is needed, we do it ourselves.
You're making my handsome Mikey do housework?
Karen, we both work. We share the housework.
Really? Young people these days think they can get away with anything if they both work. Well, guess what, Missy? You have a job at home, too.
It's called equality, Karen.
Listen, when I was young, those kinds of absurd excuses didn't fly. Women were expected to do housework silently and like it, even if they worked.
Times have changed. We believe in equal partnership.
Especially since Mikey is the breadwinner. What kind of wife makes the breadwinner do housework?
It's not about who earns more.
Mikey came to our house for dinner last Saturday, right?
Yes, he did.
He told me then that you don't even prepare a light meal when he comes home late.
I leave dinner for him when he's late, but
You're not doing anything for my Mikey when he comes home tired from work, are you?
I have work the next day too.
Look, when he comes home late, he wants to eat quickly. You should prepare something easy on the stomach, like chicken soup or a light pasta dish.
I'll keep that in mind.
Really, young people these days always have excuses. When I was young, we couldn't talk back to our mother-in-law.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Anyway, put more effort into housework. Otherwise, Mikey might leave you someday.
What do you mean by that?
He's kind and sincere, and there are others who want to be with him.
Are you implying something?
It means he's popular, especially since you've been married for 3 years and haven't gotten pregnant.
That's a personal matter between Mike and me.
Men quickly get bored with wives who don't have children. Don't prioritize work. Do what you're supposed to do.
And what exactly am I supposed to do?
Be a proper wife and mother. Speaking of which, Emily, I heard you actually managed to get pregnant.
Oh, did my husband tell you?
Yes, I heard it from Mikey. You're already 4 months along, aren't you?
That's correct.
Why did you keep quiet? You must have known earlier.
I was planning to tell everyone after the first trimester.
But you told your parents, didn't you? That's terrible. We live closer. Are you trying to spite me?
My parents only know because I felt unwell when I visited them, and it came up naturally.
I don't know if that's true. Well, whatever. So which is it?
Which what?
The baby's sex, of course. It's a boy, right?
I've been told it's a girl.
What? A girl?
Yes, that's right.
Huh? Is it really Mikey's child?
What are you saying?
Our family has always had boys as the firstborn. It's strange to suddenly have a girl.
It's a 50-50 chance, so I don't think it's strange at all.
You work outside the home, so you must meet new people. Is there someone else besides Mikey?
That's completely unacceptable. How can you just say something like that?
Is that why you didn't tell us?
The child is absolutely Mike's and mine.
My years of intuition tell me it's not my grandchild. Besides, Mikey shouldn't like someone like you.
Excuse me?
You're the type to talk back even to your mother-in-law. You're a strong-willed type, aren't you?
I don't see how that's relevant.
But Mikey's ex-girlfriends were all fair-skinned and suited to wearing traditional dresses, frolicking in wheat fields and cooking my son healthy meals without complaining.
So what?
I'm saying I doubt Mikey would want to have children with you. He wouldn't even tell me when the baby was conceived.
And why does he have any obligation to tell you about our nighttime activities?
But if it's a girl, it's really over. If you had at least given birth to a boy, I was planning to accept you.
Accept me? I didn't realize I needed your acceptance.
No, I can't even have expectations for the future.
What's wrong with having a girl?
Girls can't be the heirs to the dynasty, can they? So there's no point in having them.
But you're a woman too, Karen.
That's not the point. Since ancient time, male heirs have been valued.
I don't understand. No matter what gender my child is born, they're my child.
You might think that, but we're different. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
This isn't ancient Rome, Karen.
That's how it is, right? You came into our family, so you should follow our ways. Have a boy first.
There are things you shouldn't say, even as a joke.
I'm not joking. I'm saying I don't want a granddaughter.
That's not something you get to decide.
If you don't want to be divorced from Mikey, try again.
I won't forgive this. I won't forget what you just said.
You're being overly sensitive.
I don't want to talk anymore, so excuse me.
Oh, wait, Emily? We're not done talking.
I think we are.
Emily, listen well. I have something important to say, so you must reply.
I'm hanging up now.
Otherwise, I'll go to your house now and throw away all your belongings.
Karen, if you do that, I'll call the police.
It's because you're ignoring my messages.
I'll listen, but I'm at work, so please keep it brief.
I've talked it over with Mikey's father. A wife who can't do housework properly and can't give birth to a boy is a failure.
Excuse me?
If you love my son, you'll divorce him. It's for his own good.
Huh? Really? You mean I can? Would that be okay?
Of course. Of course it's okay.
Huh? You really mean you're happy for me to do that? Actually, I was thinking of divorcing your son too.
What?
I feel guilty. I thought I couldn't be a good wife to your son.
Oh, is that so? You finally realize how much of a failure of a wife you are.
I want to sign the divorce papers, but my husband won't agree to the divorce.
Why would Mikey hesitate to divorce you? He must have someone else he likes.
So you knew after all?
Of course I did. How many years do you think I've been Mikey's mother? I noticed something was off about him these past few months.
As expected of you. But Mike, actually having a conscience buried away somewhere in that head of his, seems to feel kind of bad about divorcing me while I'm pregnant.
I see. That's just like Mikey.
That's why he's reluctant to divorce.
But don't worry, I have divorce papers with Mikey's signature.
What?
Originally, he wanted to divorce you. He was even complaining about you for a while. I had him sign the papers then.
I see. All right, can I come get them now?
Aren't you at work?
They say strike while the iron is hot, right? Besides, don't you want a new daughter-in-law soon?
Well, that's true.
I'll sign them immediately and take them to City Hall.
All right, I'll have them ready, so come quickly. Wait, Emily? What's going on? Mikey hit me!
Huh? Is that so?
Mikey yelled at me, saying he never intended to leave you, and he hit me. I've never seen Mikey so angry before.
I see. But we're already divorced, so it's not my concern anymore.
This is all your fault.
It's not my fault. It's Mike's and yours.
What?
As you said, Mike had been acting strange for a while before I found out I was pregnant. When I investigated, well, he was having an affair.
An affair? But Mikey wouldn't.
I was thinking of leaving him when I found out I was pregnant.
But you decided to keep the baby, right? It's wrong to divorce him.
You're the one who was trying to make us divorce, and now you say this? Well, it's water under the bridge now.
But...
For a while, I thought I'd overlook the affair for the sake of the child. I even hoped he might change after the baby was born.
See? You should have given him a chance.
But Mike's behavior towards me grew colder and colder. He allowed you to come and go from our house and started meeting his mistress late every night.
But he said he broke up with her. He said he ended it because of the baby.
That's not true. Mike fell victim to a scam.
A scam?
His mistress was an investment scammer. He's left with $80,000 in debt.
$80,000? Mike has debt?
And even after he realized he'd been scammed, he did complete a 180. He suddenly started to pretend to care about the baby when he hadn't shown any interest before, and tried to act like a good husband by coming home early.
Isn't it good that he's trying to change?
He only changed his attitude to get me to take over his debt. You probably don't know this, but I'm the breadwinner, and I earn a lot more than Mike.
No way, you can't be serious. Anyway, even if that's true, Mike earns a decent amount too, so I don't think it's just about the money.
Mike has previous debts too.
Previous debts?
Debts from when he was single. He's still using half his salary to repay those.
I didn't know.
So in total, he has about $100,000 in debt. But for your precious Mikey, maybe you'll take over the debt.
That's impossible. We don't have that kind of money. Actually, we have debts too.
Oh, I didn't know that. But it's not my concern anymore. Please discuss future matters with your son.
Mikey says he can't live without you.
Maybe in terms of money, that's true. But I can't be the wife of someone who cheats and accumulates debt.
You knew everything, didn't you? That's why you were happy when I told you to divorce.
Yes, Mike always did whatever you said. I hoped I might be able to divorce smoothly. I didn't expect you to have signed divorce papers, though.
The divorce papers weren't Mikey's intention.
What are you saying? Divorce papers shouldn't be signed half-heartedly. Mike is also at fault for signing them.
But
besides, I have evidence of his affair, so we would have divorced sooner or later anyway.
did you know we were receiving monthly support from Mikey?
Yes. Want to know why? Because I was the one providing that support.
Oh my God. Emily, I'm sorry. I mistakenly thought you were a bad wife. But the real failure was my son. You were the one supporting us all along, and yet I...
Karen, that's enough. No matter how much you apologize, the victim can't easily forget.
I understand, but please.
I will never forget you telling me to remake my unborn child.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I misunderstood you and thought it would be better if you and Mikey separated quickly. So I said things I shouldn't have.
You are who you are, Karen. Whether you meant it or not doesn't matter. Those are words that should never be spoken.
Please, Emily, can't we start over?
Well then, Karen, I can't call you Mom anymore. As we're now strangers, I won't have any more involvement with you. Please live happily with your precious, important son. Goodbye, Karen.
Emily, wait.
Hello?
Emily, it's me. Can we talk?
Mike, how did you get this number?
I asked your coworker. Look, I know I messed up, but can't we work this out?
There's nothing to work out, Mike. We're divorced.
But the baby, our daughter.
You mean the daughter you showed no interest in until you needed money?
It's not fair. I was just shocked at first.
And the affair? The debt? Were you just shocked about those two?
I made mistakes, I know. But I love you, Emily. I want to make this work.
It's too late for that, Mike. You had your chances.
Please, just hear me out. I've changed. I'm seeing a therapist. I'm looking for a better job.
That's great, Mike. I'm happy for you. But it doesn't change anything between us.
What about our daughter? Don't you want her to have a father?
She'll have a father. You can still be in her life, but we won't be together.
That's not the same. Please, Emily, give me another chance.
I'm sorry, Mike, but no. I've made my decision.
Is there someone else? Is that why you're being so cold?
No, Mike, there's no one else. I just respect myself too much to go back to a situation that made me unhappy.
But I can make you happy now. I've learned my lesson.
Mike, please stop. It's over. We need to focus on co-parenting our daughter, nothing more.
Fine. That's how you want it. But don't come crawling back when you realize how hard it is to be a single mother.
Goodbye, Mike.
Emily, I know you blocked my number, but please read this. I'm truly sorry for everything. I've been doing a lot of thinking and I realize how wrong I was. Can we meet to talk?
Karen, I appreciate your apology, but I'm not interested in meeting.
I understand, but please, for the sake of your daughter, can we try to have some kind of relationship? I want to be a grandmother to her.
I'm sorry, but that's not possible right now. Maybe in the future, but for now, I need space from you and your family.
I understand, but please know that I'm here if you ever change your mind. And I'm truly sorry for everything.
Thank you for your understanding. Goodbye, Karen.
Emily, there's a couple in the waiting room claiming to be your in-laws. They're asking to see you. Should I let them in?
No, please don't. I don't want to see them.
All right, I'll let them know. Is there anyone you'd like us to call?
Yes, please call my parents. They should be on their way.
Of course. Just focus on your breathing now. Everything's going to be fine.
She's beautiful. Hello, little one. I'm your mom.
What's her name gonna be?
Lily. Her name is Lily.
That's a lovely name. Your parents are here. Should I let them in?
Yes, please. I can't wait for them to meet their granddaughter.
Oh, Emily, she's absolutely perfect.
She looks just like you did when you were born.
Mom, Dad, meet your granddaughter Lily.
Hello, Lily. We're so happy you're here.
Emily, we're so proud of you. You're going to be an amazing mother.
Thanks, Dad. I'm a little scared, but I'm ready for this.
We're here for you, sweetheart. Whatever you need.
I know. Thank you both so much. I immediately blocked my ex-mother's-in-law's contact. I had discussions with my ex-husband about child support and alimony, but those were settled using his share of our assets. My ex-husband returned to his parents' home with nearly $100,000 in debt. His parents are angry at him for accumulating debt, while he lashes out at them for causing our divorce. Apparently, they fight almost every day while living together. It was a difficult pregnancy period, but I'm really glad to have cut ties with that terrible family. I'm currently in my 3rd trimester and resting in my parents' home. Parenting will be challenging, but I want to give all the love I can, rely on my loved ones when needed, and create a happy home with my daughter.